A fossil fuel is a general term used to describe a group of energy sources that were formed when ancient plants and organisms were subject to intense heat and pressure over millions of years. Fossil fuels are the world's most dominant energy source, making up to at least 82% of the global energy supply. These energy sources have powered and continue to power the industrialization of many nations. They have a multitude of applications, from electricity production to transport fuels. Fossil fuels are non-renewable resources as they have taken many years to form. Once these resources are used, they will not be replenished. Fossil fuels are the largest source of carbon dioxide, which is a greenhouse gas which contributes to climate change, and the production causes both environmental and human health impacts. These concerns are triggering the world to look at alternate sources of energy that are both less harmful and renewable. However, fossil fuels are necessary for the production of a variety of common products, such as paints, detergents, and polymers like plastic. Some fossil fuels like coal are an abundant and cheap form of energy. The burning of fossil fuels produces around 21.3 billion tons of carbon dioxide per year. It is estimated that natural processes can only absorb about half of that amount, so there is a net increase of 10.65 billion tons of atmospheric carbon dioxide per year. The burning of these fossil fuels releases carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, which pollutes the air that we breathe. Air pollution in cities have been linked to an increase in respiratory diseases like asthma, particularly in young children and the elderly, along with shortened life expectancy. In 2005, the Energy Policy Act was signed by George W. Bush. In short, this bill described different tax incentives and loan guarantees for alternative energy productions other than fossil fuels. Coal and oil specifically release sulfur dioxide when they burn, which causes breathing problems for any living creatures and also contributes to acid rain. Currently, we are globally consuming the equivalent of 11 billion tons in oil from fossil fuels every year. Oil reserves are currently vanishing at a rate of around 4 billion tons a year. If we continue to use all our fossil fuels the way we are now, we could lose our coal reserves by 2081, our gas reserves by 2061, and our oil reserves by 2051. This century, a large diversification of fossil fuel energy consumption was noticed, with coal declining from 96% of total production in the 1900s to less than 30% in the 2000s. Today, crude oil is the largest energy source, accounting for around 39% of fossil fuel energy, followed by coal and natural gas at 33 and 28%. So in general, consumption of fossil fuel energy varies from country to country. China is the #1 consumer of fossil fuel energy in the world. Global coal production and consumption is now dominated by China, which produces and consumes approximately half of the world's coal, and China dominates growth in coal as well, with its production doubling in the last decade and making up 70% of the global increase in coal production over that period. A nonprofit organization in the US called the NRDC is fighting for a cleaner future. To reduce the future CO2 emissions by 2050, they will promote energy efficiency, promote renewables to reduce waste, they will try and convert to electric power wherever they can, and lower carbon fuels. So our main question is, what can a high school student do to help with this situation? Well, they can reduce, reuse, and recycle. Buying products with minimal packaging will help to reduce waste, and by recycling half of your household waste, you can save 2,400 pounds of carbon dioxide annually. Also, for the ones that do drive, they could drive less. Driving less means fewer emissions. Besides saving gasoline, walking and biking are great forms of exercise. And if you do decide to drive, at least drive electrically instead of gas-powered vehicles. So in conclusion, fossil fuels are depleting at an alarming rate and are harming the environment substantially. So please, take a little bit of time out of your day and try and go green. Thank you for listening.